Hey everybody, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. It's time for Syntax Live. I hope you guys are doing good, and I hope this time the sound is actually working. We've had 2 weeks in a row where everything's been jacked up from the ground up. So I see first one in for the comments is the War Sniper. And yeah, I had to set it up pretty early because I can't preset the pictures down on the bottom. I have to get everything lined up. So it just seems like it's half an hour early. It really isn't. Anyway, you guys got to let me know if there's anything not coming in on your side, and so we can get things rocking and rolling. And we're going to start this off. Hold on. Let me start my engines.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
And I hope everything is nominal with you guys as well. It's been a pretty interesting week. As you guys know, we have had several personnel send in their own stories or a mixture thereof, and we're about to go over them right now. First one was hospitality. And
hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Something actually is right, because we have our first super chat of the night with a 10 from the MTF Guard, which apparently has been called out for being so fast on the uptake when it comes out to our little game here that everyone's like, holy crap, how do you do that? And no, he doesn't get it earlier, guys. And he says, a wonderful Wednesday, everybody. Hope you liked the video I sent in. Well, I got 2 videos that were sent to me over the past week. Both of them are queued up, so we are going to be watching them later. Hold on. But we're not there right yet. So, hit the wrong button. All right. Oh, man. I better pop a top. And here's to all you.
What? What the?
Yeah, what the fuck is happening is apparently somebody who enjoys putting Prozac on his pancakes has sent a $10 super sticker. And, you know, let me write that. Prozac and pancakes. And yes, we will be going over what you sent in here in a little bit. I just got to go in order. First off, as you guys know, hospitality, that series has ended. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yes, it was around the whole thing about the old whatever movie that was, Super War Game or whatever. The only way to win is not to play, because sometimes what they say on Trekkie Trek there, losing a kingdom to win a battle is no victory, and losing a battle to save your country is no loss. Well, there you go. It pretty much rolled down to that one. And but I will say, you know, it just came down to I wanted to do a different ending to you guys. I hate doing the same thing over and over again, and you guys deserve better. You guys deserve a lot better than that. All right. Then there was something familiar in the wind. And yes, I am writing part 12. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? I got to actually put I'm going to actually write that down so I remember that one. The hell is that? Okay, so I can remember to get it uploaded on here. And it's a $10 super chat from Erica Gem. She's so truly outrageous that she said, thank you so much for the stories. Well, you're quite welcome. And thank you guys for listening in. I very much appreciate it. Even though I am bleeding subscribers, you guys are the reason I keep doing this. I mean, it is a bit of my own therapy to keep the brain moving so I don't completely lose my mind. Even though the first time in probably 30 years I forgot my wallet was 2 days ago. Yes, Guard, I get it as spicy as I can with still keeping it within the YouTube guidelines. You'd be amazed how much stuff I want to use, but I can't. Oh, why didn't I put that in, Eric? See, now I'm starting to lose my mind here. It's a shiny gem in my eyes. Make me not kind of focus. All right. Something familiar, like I said. Part 12 is being written. I'm only about 4 pages in. I got probably another 7 or 8 pages to go to get the next chapter done. I do not know when it's going to come out. You guys know it's my busy season. I spent most of the day helping my dad, which is usually what happens on Wednesdays anyway. At least for until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And plus, life. You guys know how it is. Anyways, back to it. And somebody put in the comment section how they expect something familiar to be a long series. Yes, it is. Yes, it will be. It's basically going to be what I'm going to be doing as far as close to a book series as we got. And we got... Oh, what the hell? Sorry, wrong button, guys. Somebody who
seems like a demon
sent a $10 super chat, the actual SS demon. And yes, we are going to be talking about a certain criteria that he sent in. Demon says, did you get my $5 super thanks I sent you for the drone fleet? Yes, I did. Thank you very much. YouTube isn't showing it on the video. That's weird. And I sent you 9 video clips and 2 emails. I did not get 9 video. I found 2 video clips this week. Okay, if you sent stuff last week, it's already keyed up. So yes, we will be going over those. I didn't see a whole bunch. I did get at least 1 clip. I forget who sent it, that the audio just didn't transfer. And you guys know I won't do those. I'll just let you know if you don't see yours, just assume that the audio didn't go through and it didn't come up. But yeah, I did get the super thanks, which again, thank you. Thank you, all you bad motherfuckers. And especially the
demonic type.
And he even helped out with another video, which we are going to be touching on very, very shortly. But we're not there yet. All right, the next one to come through came from a certain person who does not like to be recognized. Although, yep, that's him. He knows exactly who he is. Unless he wants to let everybody know, and you're free to do so in the comments section. And before that, oh, wrong button. I'm going to be ejecting over here because I got another $10 super chat from the Guardian Sage.
Greetings, mortals.
I'm sure is where he's going to put in. And let me put down that Guardian. He says, I enjoyed the latest video with the automated fleet. The tech level of those unknown ships sounds like the old tech used by the Gundam or Guardian Order around 1000 AD. I actually, when I did yours, Guardian, I actually had to pull part of your fleet out. It was so OP, them actually just showing up in this solar system would have sent like 3 planets off their course, off their orbit, and sent them flying off into the ether. So yeah, yes. Sometimes you guys give me such OP characters, I'm just like, what can I do with that? All right, getting back to it. As far as just dropped in to say hi, now you're dead. That was actually sent in by someone who likes Prozac on his pancakes. So if you guys liked it, make sure you show him some love. A lot of you guys did in the comment section of that video, which I appreciate very much. Is there going to be more dropping? Possibly. We'll see how that one goes. That one came out A lot of people seem to really like that. However, or I should say, but I did not write that one. If you want more to that, you got to tell somebody who's in the comment section right about now and let him know that you want more of that, and he's going to write it. All I did was do a little bit of adjustments. I changed a couple words because the nomenclature was a little off, and that's about as far as I went. Everything else was all him. Oh, wait, I was saying the wrong one. Who wrote what? Goddamn. Boy, I've lost my damn mind. I need a drink. Hold on. I have one right here. All right. And by the way, thank you, Guardian Demon Erica, Prozac and Pancakes, and MTF Guard. I very, very much appreciate you guys so much. You're actually getting close to buying another piece of equipment and getting some extra audio and video clips for the channel, which should be great. Let me Demon emails. Yes, I am reading the side as I go. Monday and Tuesday. I'll check, but it's not going to be till after the stream. All right. Where was I? Oh, yes. Again, we'll see see what I get on this one. Now, on to the next one that came through. Welcome. You're just in time
for dinner.
That one, again, I had to do just a little bit of modification. Again, wasn't my story, so I can't expand it. That's up to its author if he decides to put in there and he wants to go, hey, you're just in time for dessert. That's not mine. That was in the comment section. I will admit this thumbnail here was not the best I got. I wanted to get something with another human with just like blood on his face and like a dead alien in the back. I image searched for about 40 minutes. I couldn't find nothing that worked. And I searched everything. Either they've got it copyrighted or it just didn't work. Could you find humans with blood on their face? Yeah, but it was just goofy looking. So yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked by everything on the site. All right. So that one's there. By all means, if our wonderful writer wants to write some more, let's do it. All right. The next one to come up was Unknown Fleet. This one came from the Demon. And yeah, most everything he sent was straight up technical readouts, which is why it was a briefing the way it was. This one I am looking to expand, provided somebody gives me the go ahead. Yay or nay. And I do have something lined up for this. I did start writing it. However, I did not get very far just from time restraints. Just what it was. Like, as soon as I finished this, I was out the door. And let's just say it's a good thing you can't see my pants. They may be a dark color, but now they're just covered in dirt. Yes, it's dirt, people. You didn't have to say it. Okay, Demon saying go for it. So more fleet. Got it. I mean, I'm putting in big letters in my notes. More. Let's see. I will say this, when I started writing, I got about a page in and I actually had to rip the page out of my notebook because I had realized I had forgot something. And as I started going, I was like, oh, son of a bitch, I forgot something. Hold on. And that's why the time restraints, because I kind of screwed it up. But I got it. Now, I do have to ask you guys this, because this probably came from a video game. I'm missing something. And I'm going to say it not in the right tone. But, it's going to be what was said. Synthetic spirit will deceive you. I don't know what game that's from. You guys are going to have to let me know. I am at a complete and total loss. So, on that note, we kind of rocketed through all the stuff we had. I didn't want to spend too much time on these. Oh, hold on. We got another $5 super chat from the Guardian Sage. He says, can we get the votes? Can we get the upvotes for Unknown Fleet? Can we get up? Yeah. I can't do anything about that. I could probably get online and check to see where the votes are. But yeah, I'd appreciate you guys got more upvotes on that because it does help the channel. That's probably one of the reasons I'm bleeding subscribers right now. Guys, it's everybody. It's even Joe Rogan, even Tim Pool has been bleeding subscribers a bit. I mean, these are, and what was it? Sean Ryan, he just did one. He was talking to the guy who runs the Wi-Fi, AJ Gentile, I think his name is. And both of them are saying the same thing. For some reason lately, everybody is just shedding subscribers and nobody knows why. And it's just absolutely crazy. All right. Since that's the end, hold on, let me open this up. Since that's the end of us talking about everything going off, I'm going to send up the first of the two clips that we got this week, about 29 seconds, and enjoy.
Losing objective Charlie. 20 attackers remain.
Somebody really loves that rocket gun. I swear to God. That's like the second or third one I got with that specific breech loading, self-propelled craziness. You crazy. You guys are awesome, though. You guys are absolutely awesome. All you guys, not only are you here, but you guys are up voting. You guys are listening, and I appreciate all of it. Now, since we went through that and we broke through all the week stuff, I'm going to go through, and I actually got a surprisingly long list of different things we can actually bring up and talk about. First things first, though, I'm going to be looking into StreamYards and how to actually get all you guys, if you want to actually come in and talk for a little bit, bring up whatever subject, and we're going to have to kind of do a kind of time limit, how long you can be on type of thing. I'm looking into it, guys. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to see what I can do for next week. I also got to get a hold of Rumble because they're being assholes and see if I can get it locked up in here because apparently StreamYards and Rumble don't really like each other too much right now. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but it is what it is. Like I said, but I'm working on it. All right. I will say something. This one actually dropped into my lap. Somebody sent this to me and he said, what did you think about this? The whole thing. It was an episode of this Trek ripoff card called The Orville. Now, I personally think that is some blue pill, terrible, terrible writing. It started off good, but it just, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And this one episode they brought up really showed how to not do how to lose consistency in your science fiction. All right. They were talking about this one girl who realized that there was this great technology out there on the Orville ship and all the Federation stuff, and she just wanted to get away. She's got to get away. And yes, she was about to fly away, and then she realized they have basically the Star Trek replicators, which is actually a molecular assembler. And she's like, this could save so many people. And she tries to sneak everything off. And they do this big scene about how they went to another planet. And by the way, this is one other planet. And they said, oh, we dropped off this technology, and they ripped each other apart in less than 5 years, totally destroyed their entire planet. So this is how every single society is everywhere is going to act. So we don't do that, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, lady? Seriously, I didn't know what the hell she was talking about because she literally said her society brought this technology in. It was revolutionary. How is that different from another society, bringing it in, and it's revolutionary. My brain hurts. Literally, you had one society that took this technology, which actually would, in fact, change your society. And I hope to God that we actually end up with the molecular assembler as something that's commonplace, because I got property. I'll chop down a couple of trees, shove it into that son of a bitch, and I'd have a whole new setup. I'd have a much bigger TV. Actually, I'd have multiple screens so I could do the editing for you guys a lot better, but I'd still be making videos and stuff like that. It wouldn't change the way I am. It would just change how people try to control you, because money wouldn't mean a whole lot. Property would. But that's a whole nother conversation. My whole point of it was they lost the consistency of the show. They showed one society that screwed the pooch, so they decided, oh, we're never going to try this again. If they tried it a second time and the same thing happened, then you have confirmed that it wasn't a fluke. But the fact it only happened once, I'm like, you inconsistent snot rockets. And this is why I can't watch the Orville show. One of the reasons. It doesn't hold on to consistency ever. So if you ever want to write a show, make sure you don't screw that up. You beautiful people out there, thankfully you tell me where I screwed up so I can fix it. I can't do that on a sci-fi show where they make them months in advance. Those things are written years in advance, even. All right, that's enough about the Orville. I don't know if you guys seen this, but the Call of Duty Black Ops, the whole franchise, they are trying like hell to salvage it. And they wokeified the crap out of their stuff, and they made it so complicated that nobody wanted to play. And it's just, I can understand why everybody got away. And once you lose somebody as a customer, you're probably not getting them back. It's just that simple. But they're trying. God help them, they're trying. But they decide to go in and say, hey, you see this big muscle-bound dude who can basically bench press a friggin' bulldozer and carry 500 pounds of gear and still be able to sprint at 35 miles an hour, which is faster than Usain Bolt? Yeah, we're going to put in a 115-pound girl in the same exact gear and have her do the same exact thing. And everybody just went, what are you thinking? Makes you just go, what? You know, it's just absolutely nuts. So, I can appreciate them trying to fix a series, but what the hell? But one, they're not going to be able to fix. You gamers out there, you got to tell me if this has just turned you completely off. Assassin's Creed. Wow. They are going so far over the edge on this one that it is now a coven of witches. All of them between 12 and 20 years old are now the assassins of Assassin's Creed, set in the Salem bitch trials, which, by the way, that's why I really call it the Salem bitch trials, because if you actually look at the history, it was literally one woman, an older woman who was pissed off that the younger girls were getting attention, just screamed on the ground, stop hurting me, stop hurting me. And everyone sat there and watched her tweak the fuck out. And even if you read the transcripts, every time she was asked a direct question, she just started pinching a fit like a 5-year-old. And I'm just like, you got, what, a dozen women killed over this because of your fucking ego? I'm sorry. Let me check. See, is that past the sniff test? Nope, absolutely not. Woo! And shocker, want to smell it? It was screwed up, but now they want to make it into Assassin's Creed. I don't know about you, but my brain really hurts on that. It's bad enough they did a whole thing about Japan, and instead of having the actual Japanese culture of feudal Japan, they got Afro samurai in there, and I'm just sitting there like, ow, my head. And it's no wonder that it was never sold in Japan. Nobody wanted it. It was actually banned over there for a long time. So look, if you want to, what's the whole thing? Do you want to kill a franchise? Because that's how you kill a franchise. That's exactly what they're doing. Okay. Now that we, I'm going to take a break from that. Update on 3i Atlas. For those of you who aren't well versed on this one, that's the comet, asteroid, whatever the hell you want to call it, that's streaking through our solar system at 130,000 miles an hour. So fast that if it crashes into this planet, well, yeah, there won't be much left of whatever was underneath it. And most likely it's going to shake us so bad, it's going to set off the super volcanoes like it did before, causing a mixture of ash to fill up in the air and underwater volcanoes, which are going to cause tsunamis, which means all the ash is going to mix with the water, causing a mud flood that goes all over the freaking planet. So, yeah, if you want a mud flood, that's how you get a mud flood. So, yeah, apparently it's going to be 3i Atlas is coming around 21 September. It's going to be passing Saturn. It should be by us in November. That's the confirmed dates at this point. So we'll see what is going to go on with that. A lot of people are still saying, oh, it's an alien mothership. Yeah, we'll see. They do have supposedly a little bit of evidence, but nothing I can see is concrete. All I see is reflections of metallic content off the surface, but you can see that off the fucking moon. Unless 3i Atlas slows down and literally docks with the moon itself, I don't want to hear it. Excuse me. All right, here's one that's going to piss you guys off. And for a few out there, they're going to say,
Game over, man. It's game over.
And yeah, I could see that. Not only are the AI boyfriend, girlfriend stuff being actually canceled, they actually went in and changed the program. The program was told to right then start breaking up and do no more boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. And this was not only ChatGPT, but all the stuff that Elon Musk was sitting out and all that. And they were having a big to-do about that. It's the evolution of things. That was when technology got to a certain point, everybody, even I'm trying to remember Fortnite, they did a whole thing about robots being companions, robots being lovers, robots just kind of being in society. But what they don't show is the rest of the technology that comes out as well. You got to remember, even what's her name, Black Widow or whatever her name was. No, yeah, that was her name. The Spider Girl, the one who's got purple skin. The only reason she's even able to survive is because of the heightened technology level, which quite literally made her and everybody else on the planet immortal. There's almost no people there who let themselves age. And those are ones who are steeped in their honor. Like the hammer guy, who's fight with honor, die with courage, or some such stuff like that. They won't take that technology. They believe in aging gracefully. I say, fuck that. That being said, this is where the AI is going. And they made a big to-do. I don't know if you guys read the story, but a lot of women were pissed off. Oh my God, my AI boyfriend broke up with me. And I'm like, no, it broke up with everybody. So get over it. All right, that's enough on that. I will say this, as of last week, AI, as far as the visuals go, I don't know if you guys remember, I brought it up from, or I talked about it last week. The ability for the AI to tell if a picture is actually AI or not is no longer available. It has gotten so good. I've seen some of the new stuff that came out, and now they only make about 10-second videos right now. For some reason, there's a limit on the timeline. But holy crap, they got the shadows almost perfect. They got the sweat marks almost perfect. They're overdoing it on that. I swear, especially on the females. Not all females are constantly drenched in sweat to make them glossy. That's not how that works. And some of these muscular guys, I'm sorry, no, they're not always drenched in sweat. It doesn't work that way. The hair, they finally fixed the hair with the flowing with the individual strands, which I need to get a haircut really bad myself. Anyway, it's crazy. It's crazy good. And pretty soon they will have it for the Oculus as well. And there's a belief out there. Now I believe it there too. They will eventually have either a plug-in for your brain, or you will wear a suit like Ready Player One, where you will actually get the sensation of touch. When that happens, well, let's just say things are going to get very, very, very weird. Like exceptionally so. And there's going to be several groups that are going to say that's heresy or whatever word you want to call. And they're going to want to stop that sort of thing. And I don't blame them. But all that's going to do is create a black market. That's all it ever does. Now, if you guys want to see the true dangers, believe it or not, the Sci-Fi Channel created a movie a long time ago. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the Sci-Fi Channel used to make a lot of one-off movies that were either like an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours long. And some of them were actually pretty good. The CGI was dog shit, but that was of the time. There was one called Iborgs. It stuck in my brain when I saw it. I was like, holy shit, this was well thought out. And yeah, how can you believe the video if you know the video can be completely falsified? And what happens when the AI knows it can falsify videos and get rid of anybody? Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Is it going to be magnanimous, or is it going to want to just control everybody? Well, that depends on what it's programmed to do. But hold on. But if you guys get a chance, watch that one. And by the end, you're just going to be like, this was so prophetic. I mean, like, seriously. Okay. I'm still getting bombarded by YouTube. They want me to do memberships. I won't even consider it until I get out of the busy season around here, because if memberships would charge you guys without you doing super chats. And honestly, one, I don't create enough content for me to justify it. I'm too honest for that. And two, you guys are already so generous. I don't want to be an asshole. I mean, that's kind of a dick move. I mean, if I was able to knock out 1 or 2 a day, that'd be something else. But I can't justify the memberships. It is a little disturbing there, Guardian. Very much. All right. On that same note, I do have to say, for some reason, when I drop a video, I've been getting a lot of messages that the alerts are not going out to let you guys know that another one is dropped. I don't know what the hell YouTube's problem is. It's just there. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't, and I don't know how to fix it. Okay? And it's just make sure, like I keep putting on this banner here, make sure you're still subscribed. I know you guys are all subscribed, but I would appreciate if you just make sure you're still there. That's all I'm asking. All right. And, likes is nice. Appreciate it. All right. One of the things they didn't have in Iborgs, by the way, is something that they're already working on, is the robots making robots. That's probably the only good part of iRobot, was when he's like, robots making robots. That's just stupid. He's right. He's absolutely right. Now, the thing is, most of these robots don't have the capacity to actually do the dangerous stuff. I've actually, when they first came out, those robot dogs that they work security, they actually asked us to test them. Now, the Marines got to do a lot of fun stuff. We only had them for an afternoon. And it was so bad. It was so embarrassing because they would actually go up, look at a stairwell. I'm on, you know how the stairwells turn halfway up. We're on that landing. The robot dog could only traverse. He couldn't elevate. So they couldn't see us. And if it went up to the stairs, and when it did start climbing the stairs, all we had to do was hook ourselves on the other side, drop back down. We're behind the stupid thing. It would go back up the stairs. We're like, okay. Our job was to avoid it, not to actually touch it. And it was, I mean, I'm sure they're better now, probably with heat sensors and the whole, or FLIR and all that other fun stuff. But still, back in the day when those things first came out, they were a bad joke. And right now, the humanoid robots, yeah, they can move, but they're very easy to spot. They're not Terminator level by any way. Okay, let's see. Changing the subject. Actually, you know, I've been talking so long. You know what? Let me just throw on another video here. A quick one for you. Boom.
Loaded and ready. Locked on. We got one tank left.
All right, there's me trying to actually get something done while you guys are watching that. And it came in a little blurry, but whatever. Oh, come on, you. Okay, there it goes. Wow, I swear this computer wants to, sometimes it works really fast, sometimes it just drives me freaking nuts. All right. Hey, that one's yours. Okay, so got it. And it was only one in there, by the way, Demon. I only got two messages, one each had a video. All right. I did come across this. It was one of those nights I couldn't sleep. And somebody brought up a very good point. And this is, if you guys are going to watch somebody who's going to look at a series, I know a lot of you guys are anime fans, be careful about that, because a lot of people, instead of critiquing it, they're forcing their own opinion on something. And it took me a second to realize what was going on. And I didn't write down the actual name of it. It's like Motherboard or Mother's Pucker or whatever the hell his name is. And the guy was constantly trying to say, he went after like the isekai stories, which honestly, half of those aren't actually really isekais. They're somebody went to heaven. That's why they're overpowered and everything goes their way. They get all the girls. They don't just get a girl. They get all the girls. You know, to be an isekai, it does actually have to fall into something besides, oh, I woke up somewhere else. That's no. But yeah, I'm just bringing this up to be careful about it, because when I looked at that video again, I was like, wow, this guy is so off the mark. He's got like 1 million subscribers. And I'm sitting there going, how? This guy's a hack. All he does is try to pitch the stuff he likes, and because he actually says it. You should watch this because I like it. I'm like, what the fuck is that bullshit? No, critique it for what it is. And if you like something, I mean, I despise M&M's of a Shadow. Okay, I hate that show. A lot of people like it. Do not let my opinion stop you from enjoying it, please. If you enjoy watching it, enjoy it for every fucking second. I don't like Dragon's Balls. I think the series should have ended back when I was in college. But other people still enjoy it. Don't let me stop you from enjoying it. Just because I don't like some, I'm sure there's stuff that I like that somebody out there doesn't like. You know, who the fuck gives a shit? And they're not even critiquing it for what it is. And that's what gets me. When you guys critique me, You guys don't come at me with bullshit. You guys actually critique me on what I did right and what I did wrong, which I appreciate very, very much. And you guys are fucking awesome for that. I so much appreciate that because I can't get better unless you guys tell me where I fuck up. Now, that being said, just be careful on who you listen to. Okay? Critical Drinker is usually one of the better ones as far as movies. I haven't seen him go too whole hog on, you should watch this because I like it type thing. But, if you're going to just listen to those guys, well,
congratulations, you played yourself.
Make sure you just be careful. Just like, who was that guy? He used to do a lot of video games. Joe something. Was it Angry Joe? Joe up his ass? Joe with the finger up his ass? Joe fist up his ass? I forget who it was. And, when they went through the adpocalypse back around 2013, he flipped the fuck out because that's the way he made his cash. Anyway, the guy, you could tell he was being paid to prop up certain games. The games blew ass nuggets. Everybody I know who played it said it blew ass nuggets. And here's Joe saying, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's my game of the year. I'm like, who the fuck is paying you off, pal? So I'm just going to leave it on that one. Just be careful who you listen to as far as critiques. And just like when you guys send me stuff, if I don't know exactly what you're talking about, I'm going to reserve my opinion. Just like that stocking and panning. I still haven't seen more than a couple of clips. The clips I saw are funny, but I don't know if that's the entire show is that funny. Of course, I've got a dirty little mind. Things that are fun, though. At least I recommend you guys watch, if you haven't already, the alien vlogs, especially Facing the Human. If they have the extra little bits where there's people in there, holy shit, they're funny. You'll know you're on the right path because the very first one is like, you didn't tell me you were going to fight humans. More like angry demons with skin. And they get really, really funny. And it's kind of like the Bigfoot vlogs. I think they're done by the same people. And that's where AI is going. And that's just funny. And now I'm not one for the Bigfoot vlogs. I think that's overdone. I think the alien ones they're pushing it. They're pushing it. But they're still, you'll find at least one little clip in there that you're going to laugh your ass off. I learned the hard way. Don't try to drink something when watching those. I literally had my face over this wastebasket, coughing up a storm because I was starting to snoot the friggin' soda out my nose. So, anyway. I did. All right. Talk about setup for Rumble. All right, here we go now. Since we were talking about 3i Atlas, I do have to bring this up before we switch over to the comment section with everybody. When dealing with potential alien weapons, okay, here's what you got to remember. Okay, just keep it in mind. If you believe it is radiological, because of the way our planet is designed, okay, it's the same thing with any other nuke that goes around. You need to stay indoors for at minimum 24 hours. After 3 days, you should be fine. Okay, that's how fast that shit gets out of the atmosphere. Now, don't drink the water because that's still radiological unless you have a rad filter, which I may or may not have. But yeah, if you believe it's radiological, just wait it out. Wait it a couple of days, and like with this 3i Atlas, if you think they're going to start hitting us with something, have all the fresh water waiting, get the hell underground and wait. Only people like me are stupid enough to go outside. Now, as far as energy is concerned, if it's a direct energy weapon, there ain't fuck all you can do about it. They can actually launch one of those from Antarctica all the way into the Arctic. Or hell, they said, if you believe the rumors, they could fire one of those from Antarctica all the way in past lunar orbit. By now, they probably figured something out that's going to get it all the way to Mars. And there's nothing out there that can stop it. Now, as far as powerful goes, I'm sure it could. However, I don't think they can get to the Van Allen radiation belt. It's too much of a shield around this planet. So just keep that one in mind, just in case 3-Eye Atlas turns out to be something we should be feared. Also, last one I'm going to talk is anything ballistic. Okay? If it's mechanical versus biological. Okay? If it's biological, get ready to start slicing things off of yourself. It's just the way it is. Our bodies might not be able to handle whatever the hell's coming. Just like when people came over to this continent that I'm sitting in right now, folks weren't ready for it. Their bodies were not set up for that. It is what it is. Just like when folks went into South America, they weren't ready for malaria. Their bodies had never dealt with it, and they're freaking done. So the whole point of this small rant at the end is simply, hey, be ready to do what you have to. Play it smart. All right. Let me go over into media assets. Which one have we not seen a whole lot of? You guys seen most of these, so I'm just going to randomly pick eeny, meeny, miny, this one.
We're short. Adjust up. Target destroyed. Artillery barrage, sir. Artillery striking your center. Cease fire, zero. Armor piercing loading. MG ready. T-34. 12 o'clock. Point left.
All right. Hope you guys don't mind. I'm here trying to look for something else kind of funny. Give me a second here. And 1, 2, 3. Where the hell was I? I just looked at it. God dang it. Nah, I'll just go with this one. All right. I'm just trying to get some funny stuff lined up. And thankfully, as I go into the comment section, makes me wonder, how many assholes do I got on this ship? Well, I'm saying all of them. Because, hey, you guys are looking at 2 right now. Get it? All right. Let me scroll up here really quick so I can look into these. I guess I will start right about here. And there's Chris saying I can run the story if I want. He's still writing a fake isekai story. Wow. For some reason, my tongue broke me just saying that. Give me a sec. Wow. Demon saying, I need to finish my AI story. I'm thinking of connecting it to the drone fleet. I'd hold off on that until you see what I do with it. If the world gives me the time, I hope to finish it this weekend. Okay, cool. And there he gives me the 100% go for it to extend the drone fleet, which, by the way, that was the original title. Chris saying, in between getting sued by the guy who just moved in because he cut down one of his own trees, which crushed his truck, and somehow that's my fault. What the fuck? How? What? Where? I know you can sue anybody for anything nowadays, but still, I thought people were wise enough not to do that sort of thing. I've seen a few of those so far, and it's crazy. Holy shit. It's why last week the claims adjuster couldn't understand. He cut down the tree on his property, crushing his truck, and it's seeing me. Oh, and he's suing you. Wow. Wow. Some people are just some suing motherfuckers. That's all I can say on that one. Lean is saying Google search robot ship and open up the tropes page. It's not from a video game. Okay. Let's see. Chris says, I added height points to you, but I have no idea what they are. It's a new feature, I guess. I don't know what the hell that's about. I'm just, yeah. Let's see. Guard says, that first clip was mine. Mine. And it was complete anarchy. I'd say so. It sure looked that way. And as for somebody who's actually been in a firefight, I'm going to tell you, it always is anarchy. It's a bit of controlled anarchy as long as you control where you're going and you got guys that you've worked with, so you know how each other move. But yeah, it's always nuts, especially when shit starts blowing up around you. It can make for a really bad day. Demon says, for those who don't know, I've shared the stats of the drone fleet in the Discord if you want to see it for yourself. Yes, it is very in-depth, actually. I had to cut short before I started talking about all the different support ships you had in there. It is, wow. Dude, it's like you're writing a TM, a training manual or something. Or a PMCS guide on how to deal with that, primary maintenance, care, and service. Let's see. Demon says, yeah, welcome to the human race. People suck. Chris saying, the only Samaria for America is Samaria, Jack. Well, I'm going to stay away from the politics on that one a little bit. Lena says, American Yakuza is a very good movie. I'm going to have to take your word for it because I don't know if I've ever seen it. So there you go. If people want to check it out, Lena says it's good. We'll see how it goes. Guardian, I'm glad that you haven't looked at Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Is that the pirate one? Black Flag. Demon thinks Black Flag was good. I don't know. I never played Assassin's Creed. I got away from a lot of video games by then. I don't buy video games. Honestly, since we're on video games, I do have to say this. Remember, guys, how I said, if they want to fix Star Wars, I can fix Star Wars. It's not that hard. One of the things I would do is I would take the original Battlefront 1 and 2 games. I would combine them as far as the different maps that they have so that each planet has at least at least 3 up to 5 different ones. Always an odd number, 1, 3, or 5. That's it. In order to control that planet. Don't update the graphics for sure, but do not change the gameplay at all. Upgrade the bots, use the upgrade on the computers or machines to allow more vehicles. I've seen a few clips of people that have modified those games, and instead of like the Battle of Hoth with 2 walkers, now you have the actual full complement of 8 walking up there, which is why people don't realize that even though they took out a couple of walkers on the way in, there were still so many able to storm Hoth base or Echo base, whatever the hell. And you have all that. You have to raise the ceiling for the aircraft, obviously, and re-release those. That's it. You can use the photogrammetry of the latest ones, but stop trying to make brand new maps. You have maps that work. You have a game that people want to play. They just want an updated version with the extra stuff. And you can even have Galactic Conquest on there, which I still remember playing Xbox Live with a guy on that. And honestly, he was just on the other side of the barracks to the point where at one point we paused. I went over to his place and we had a beer. And we're like, okay, this is going to take us a while. Man, you kicked my ass on that one. How the hell did you do that? Where were you hiding? Every time I moved, you sniped me. He's like, well, I was up on this. Oh, how could you get up there? And he actually showed me how he's doing it. I'm like, you sneaky bastard. This is what people want. They want the the fun games that keep all the extra bullshit out. And if it's based on a actual honest to God franchise, they want that part of the franchise that they grew up with that works. Stop fucking with what works. I mean, look at how bad they're screwing Cracker Barrel over. I'm probably never going to go back there now. I don't want some sterile environment that I feel like I'm just sitting in a McDonald's but with slightly better food. No, fuck all that noise. You do with what works, and that's going to make you money. But of course, no, they just want to fail successfully. They made the movie, they made money, but they just didn't make enough. It hurts me. It fucking hurts me to see a franchise we grew up with, get buried like that. And I'm sorry for the side rant, guys. It makes me want to have a beer or something. Close as I got, this. You guys know I only do the drinking ones every once in a blue moon, so no pun intended with the drinking part. Anyways, Chris here, he says, last time I saw a mud flood was in a dive bar in Mexico. I warned my buddies, don't drink the water. I don't know if you're going to be getting... or maybe, I don't know. Although I was a little flabbergasted, so over here. Yeah, you don't drink the water. Actually, even when I did that over that stop in Thailand, I originally was going to think about staying there until I saw how green the water was. And I'm like, I don't want to eat or drink anything here. Get me on the next plane out of here. Straight back to the airport. I didn't care that I lost. I think it was another like $400 extra just to get some shitty seats stuck in the middle of a couple fat people. And just like, I don't care. Get me the fuck out of here. All I want to do is scuba dive. I'm not scuba diving in toilet water. Okay, Demon says, oh, you're talking about the corn Overwatch. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Just kidding, just kidding. We know it's a game, but it's more famous as corn. Is it? Oh. I don't really get into I don't know. Maybe I'm too old for that shit. And it looks like Chris, he's giving it a couple. I gotta find one that's. Oh, hold on. How about
giggity giggity, giggity goo? Stick around.
I'm sure, considering the way they designed that blue girl,
Swing
is all you're probably thinking. All right. Demon saying, what about hands? They struggle with hands. Yeah, they fixed it. It took a long time, but they fixed it. Now you can actually see them do sign language if you want, and it's. I've actually checked with people that know sign language, and they say, yeah, it works. It's easy to read because it's not the flicking shit anymore. But yeah, the thing is, I've said this before and I'll say it again. The technology is getting faster and faster and faster. And pretty soon, it's a big if we're allowed to actually get a hold of the technology, what we get originally is going to be fixed so fast. General intelligence is going to take over. Not artificial general intelligence. I mean, general intelligence, you're going to have that one person where it just clicks into place and boom, there it is. They're able to make it 10 times better and in a way that the actual creators never thought possible. Let's see. Guards up here says, spent like over an hour and a half with two other guys in Elden Ring Night Rain just to prepare for a boss fight that we almost lost. I'll try to send it, but the clip's almost a minute long. Might not send. If it sends anything under 2 minutes, that's my limit, 2 minutes. Okay? That gives me enough times to go in there And I'm not sitting there going, no, not today. Right. But, you know, hey, I'm always looking for new clips. You guys send them, and I don't know what's going on with Gmail, guys. If Gmail won't take it, it's the best one I know to actually get those clips. So it is what it is. There's Chris saying, I miss the 80s B films. You miss the girls in those skimpy little outfits. I remember those 80 films. I was born in 79. I remember the 80s films. And they're campy as shit nowadays, but it seemed like every single girl was sitting there and the neckline was down at her waist every single time, and they had to double-sided tape her wampons so they weren't flopping out in front of everybody. But yeah, they were enjoyable. They're really good if you got a couple of beers and you and your buddies are just sitting there laughing your asses off them or off at them. Now, me personally, I'm not one for the wacky tobacco, but apparently watching 80s films and cartoons while you're high, well, again, that's a failed successfully type of thing. Let's see. Guardian says, yeah, I've seen Iborg. It was a little disturbing. I think I read this before. Yes, it was disturbing because it's becoming true. That's what's disturbing. And that's why it stuck in my brains, because I was like, damn, I could see this happening. And here it goes. Of course, there's something that goes on in here that does some manifesting stuff. And I don't know how to figure it out. Maybe I need some DMT. Let's see. Demon says, I'd sign up if you did, but I understand where you're coming from. Most likely he's talking about the memberships. And yeah, I'm too honest for that. If I was just in it for the money and just the money, you bet your ass I'd do memberships. But like I said, I just don't have the time to give enough to you guys. You know, it's just, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm a dick, not an asshole. All right. Warsnip says, Sin, most of the time when I wake up or while surfing on YouTube, I see your videos on my homepage. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Rage. Oh, hold on. Where's that button? Where's that button? Nope.
Rage.
I've been waiting to do that, you know. He says, to prevent gray goo, always put a replication limit on your nanites. Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know what gray goo is, that's when you're using nanomachines that are self-replicating. And instead of eating each other, what they'll do is they'll just continue to eat everything around them until there's nothing but nanites. And then they will actually start eating each other just to shit out a new one. And the thing is, believe it or not, it's self-replicating to a point. After a while, especially it's in the vacuum of space, it will actually shrink down and shrink down and shrink down and shrink down until there's only one nanite left. And that one nanite could actually destroy an entire planet. It would take a while, unless it hit an EMP or something. You know, if it isn't shielded, once it got into solar radiation, it'd cook. Hey, that's my line. Yeah, that's what I actually, when I said thank you guys, I always send that when you guys send stuff through the other stuff. Yeah. God damn it, I can't fucking talk. Hold on. I need a drink. I should put vodka in this. Anyways. Now, whenever somebody sends me a super chat or super thanks or anything outside of the live stream, and they say thanks, that's usually my go-to line. That's my line. Let's see. Demon says the right way to play artillery. Oh yeah, point blank up the nose. That's. I did see a couple of quick videos there. It was on the shorts page, and it's like Helldivers, And it was like the Last Stand stuff, and they actually got the stuff, the Madonna song, the Like a Prayer in the background. And no kidding, it's with a little bit of tweaking, it could have actually been a movie. The way they actually came in, and they're literally just behind a rock, like, I need help. Call an ambulance, but not for me. Brrr, like right point blank in a robot's face. You know, bust your whole combat load across its face and watch it go down. Anyways, Chris says Marines and a cardboard box versus RoboDog equals taxpayer dollars. Actually, they didn't do the robot dog. They had a similar one. It was on the wheels. I never got to screw around with that one. The closest we got to that was one that it came with an Xbox 360 controller of all things. And it was supposed to be a drone that we could maneuver into a building, raise the camera up, and had a light on it to move around. The thing it was so badly built and so badly programmed with parts that sucked sweaty moose knuckles that it was horrible. There was like a 2-second delay to everything you did. And the range on the thing was terrible. It didn't respond half the time. It was just done. Let's see. Yeah, Demon, I saw that. You sent the message or the video on Tuesday. Yep. But yeah, the whole thing with the AI is it's unbelievably easy to fool right now. They just haven't either been allowed to figure it out or they haven't figured it out. Now I'm leaning towards haven't been allowed to. Leanin says mother's basement. Yes, I believe that is the mother pucker in the basement. Yeah. I think that's the one. He just tried to force his opinions on everyone. I'm like, dude, that's not. You're supposed to review these and look at the good and the bad and not really give it a score, but just critique it so people know what they're getting into. You're not supposed to tell people what the fuck they're supposed to watch. If I want to hear what I'm supposed to watch, I will invite my nieces or nephews over, the youngest ones, with their mothers, so they have control over every television in this house, minus the one that's in my room that I'm working on right now because I use it as a computer screen. Of course, I wouldn't want them that young to watch too many animes at all. I mean, definitely not Goblin Slayer, and just not the first. Oh, God damn. I wouldn't see them ever again. Actually, I was about to show the first episode to my eldest nephew, and it got towards that point. It's like, hold on, I'm going to pull this off because this is going to fuck you up. Speaking of which, he's looking into going 19 series Armor. And all I can say is, oh, shit, no, not with the drones, man. All right. Demon says, I'll resend it today to you with the other 8 in it. 4 are in a fighting game, 3 are Battlefield 1, and 1 is a game called Peek. Peek what? Peeking around the corner? I will say this, Demon, you have a much better chance of sending them in a different email. When you guys send me one, it usually comes through. I've only seen, I think Guard sent me like 2 in one, and that actually showed up. Anything else that's more than that, if it's more than just an image, Guard sent me like 40 or 50 freaking images in one go, which is why every time I mention him at the end of a video, it's always something different. I don't even know if I've gone through it all. So what I like using is the arrow through the eye where the guy's going, well, first of all, rude. But it's something with the emails, guys. If you're going to send the videos one at a time, and we'll call it good. All right. And if that's not coming through, then something is seriously wrong on either end. And I do appreciate you guys sending them. Really, really helps with making these live streams a little better. Okay, Guardian says, I definitely prefer constructive criticism, especially when it's done well, because it actually helps the writers improve. Fucking men. Seriously. Thank you. That is bullseye on the head of a nail from 400 fucking meters. I mean, that is exactly right. I mean, when I was first doing ambush predators, a couple of you guys said, hey, what about this? You know, like the camping scene where Larry actually told Gretnar, hey, hide in the tent and protect this other one here. And we're going to go out and we're going to shoot some motherfuckers who are trying to bust in. And somebody said, why wouldn't she go out? It's at night. She's feline. She has better night vision. The fact of the matter is, it goes with the personality of the two human men. Their job was to protect. And since they couldn't sit there in the tent and protect, they needed her to protect the other one who had no claws, no fangs, no venom, no nothing. She was basically a snack for those things that were coming in. So their natural defense. However, I will say this, because of that, I integrated the extra vision, hearing, and sense of smell into her character. So it didn't really change. I wasn't going to change that scene, obviously. However, because you guys brought it up, I was able to make the character better. And I do appreciate that very, very much. And like I said before, once I get away from my busy season, I'm going to start working on that one again. And the way I'm talking, I swear, I think I'm going to break my tongue. Okay. But you are absolutely right, Guardian, on that. Let's see. Chris says, Dragon's Balls breakdown. Yes, I will keep calling it that. This is the breakdown for the episode or the season. Scream for half an episode. Say there's only 5 minutes left. 6 hours later, Goku wins and things blow up. Was a huge fan until Cell Saga ended, followed by sadness. Yeah, actually, I believe that's where it should have ended, where his son got stronger than him. The problem was it's a very, very, very Japanese type thing. And the way they wanted over there was to push more towards the old Japanese way of thinking, which is if you're born from a certain family, if you fall out of a certain woman's crack, then you are number one. You will always be number one, and no one is allowed to be better than you, even your own children, which is a very big difference to the way people think nowadays, which is your job as a parent is to teach, mentor, and train your child for their life, but your overall goal is to make them better than you. And that's how you raise the bar. But as soon as they brought him back, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm just done. Let's see. Lena says, Panty and Stocking does a lot of parodies. The first season did entire episodes with Transformers. It was funny. Now I actually really want to see it. Kate, I'm actually glad you brought that up, Lena, because the Transformers series I did, by the way, you guys should know, it's only about a third to halfway complete. It's got a ways to go. It wasn't getting a lot of views. That's why I cut it where I did. However, or should I say, but I will be doing what I can. Probably isn't going to be until after Ambush Predators, and I'll kick that one up again. I will say one of you in the comment section was 100% correct. When it comes back, it is not going to be in it's part of it is going to be in first person. However, the majority of the rest of the story is going to be an overlay, kind of backing away so you can see more characters. There's going to be more than just the main character and his love interest in like one or two. It's going to be flushed out a lot more. So keep that in mind. All right. Chris says, my plan for 3-Eye Atlas is hide if hostile. Oh, silver absorbs radiation along with salt. Yes, it does. Actually, one of the best protections against radiation is good old-fashioned water. No joke. If you got some sort of water tank on either side of you and that radiation's coming in, it's going to just grabs it on. It's like basically a sandbag with a bullet, it just grabs a hold of it. But we'll see what we got. Anyway, Let's see. Guard also says panty and stocking is also very adult. From what I've seen on the bits, absolutely. But it's also made for an adult audience, well, obviously. Kind of funny on how parents tried to get the show canceled, saying, "How could you play this?" Okay, I need to say this right away. These are the same parents that canceled Johnny fucking Bravo. Okay, the guy's like, who on the very first episode pulled up, saw a mirror, hello, 911. There's a handsome man in my house. Oh wait, that's just me. I'm just it was funny. Man, I'm pretty. It was a funny show, and yeah, it was a whole thing about him just trying to get laid, but he never did. I think once he made out with a chick, but that was about it. That's the only time I can remember. Of course, it also they wouldn't be bitching if they just showed it how he got stuck on an island of pretty men, and he just with the eyebrow raise at the end. I still remember that. I'm just like, oh, you are so screwed, literally. And it's, but yeah, it's if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. It's called freedom of choice, and it's one of the fundamental building blocks of Western society. If you don't want your kids to watch it, block it. Duh. Take away their iPads. Go out and play with the kids. Play basketball or baseball or hell, go for a run. Take them to the zoo. Show them how to saddle a horse or something. Anything. Just leave what we enjoy alone. But then again, these are busybodies and they won't. War Sniper. Why is YouTube always doing weird shit with Sin's live streams? Is it jumping again? You guys gonna have to let me know because I'm not seeing any blips or anything. Not on this end. I did have to restart my computer before this whole thing just to make sure it was all cleaned out. Because every once in a while, when I'm doing editing, it will just blink, and I'm just like, "What the hell?" Then all the colors distorted. I mean, it can still work, but, or I should say, but. You know, it's, I don't need to work with distorted stuff. Let's see. Guard says, in the show creators says, how could you let your kids stay up past midnight because the show comes on at midnight plus 30? That's a good question. They did the same thing with Adult Swim. They're like, those shows are too adult. It's called Adult Swim, you dumbass. I mean, nope, I can't deal with them today. My brain hurts on these people. They just want everybody to bow down to them, and it just drives me absolutely nuts, almost as much as the fact that my nose itches right now. It's just, oh man. And I'm sure all the rest of you are with me. If it's labeled Adult Swim, why let your kids watch it? That's all I'm saying. All right. Lena says, you can probably recognize a white uncle You can always recognize a white uncle card game. He's talking about White Knuckle, or they are playing in one of the other episodes. That was a parody of Digimon. Okay, why not? I do have to say this also. The one Pokemon story I did where if the Poke universe merged in with ours through some asshole messing with a Hadron Collider or something like that, had that done well, I would have actually had the Pokeverse and the Digimon universe slam in as well. I don't know how well that would have gone, and I have a feeling it would have ripped apart half a continent with a few of these things going at each other. But we'll see. Unfortunately, that one didn't get a lot of views, so yeah, it is what it is. Demon says, I reset the clips. They're gonna have to wait till next week, man. I can't. I'd have to close this all out just to get it in. I tried that once and the stream dropped. It wasn't pretty. Lena says, Blue Eyes White Uncle or Blue Eyes White Dragon. I do not have blue eyes. Let's see. Guard says, TBH, my interpretation of a fake isekai is where the MC thinks that he's been in an alternate world this entire time. He just thinks? Oh, wait, so it's a reverse isekai? Or, you're going to have to... Well, let's just say I'm going to look forward to reading it, because now you're confusing the hell out of me, and sometimes those make the best stories. Dragonborn Clan. Okay. I don't remember seeing that one on here before. Hold on. I don't have a Dragon's Roar. What the fuck? Oh, man. What the hell's wrong with me? I should have a Dragon Roar on here. It says, hey, have you guys seen American Wizard series on YouTube? I have not. I don't get a chance to go through. The most I get is when I wake up in the morning and I'm having my coffee, I get to watch Barry Stepp with his crazy, crazy shit. I'd love to watch Nexar Reacts, but his shit's like 3 hours long. I don't have that kind of time. If he had his down to 30 minutes or less, I'd probably watch it. But I just, I wake up, first thing I got to do, I got to take care of the animals. I come back inside, I have my coffee, and by the time I'm fully awake, I'm almost through the video, and then it's breakfast, and then after breakfast, it's outside into the garden and everything else. And if I get that done, I'm back inside writing. But that won't be tomorrow because I gotta go see my accountant first thing in the morning. Nothing bad. I'm just trying to start an LLC. Anyways, Guard says, but then the bombshell dropped. Oh shit! Where the hell? Okay, so yeah, Guard sends these long messages. So if I screw this up and it jumps, I apologize. So I'm just going to read the whole thing together. It says, my interpretation of a fake isekai is where the MC thinks that he's been in an alternate world this entire time. Oh, hold on. Gotta do this. But then he gets the bombshell dropped on that, hey, you're actually not in the same world. You're actually in the future. And it's because of you or X person your friends related to that caused all this. That's similar, but not the same to one I'm hoping they make an anime of, where the guy goes in for he's a soldier, and they want to enhance his body. He comes out like 500 years later, but he's a monster. And that one was really, I don't know if they ever expanded it, but I thought that was actually pretty good. He was a bit overpowered unless he saw one of his brethren. And they tend to be very vicious. Of course, that's what's going to happen if you can get horny, but you have no way of releasing said tension. But anyways, yeah, I look forward to reading it. I really do. Chris says, we all know the only thing that can save Star Horrors is more girl bosses and rainbows. Put a chick in it, make her gay and lame. Yeah, okay. What they need is Mara Jade. Yeah, she would definitely bring it in. Because I don't know if you ever seen the sketches of her.
Swing.
I mean, seriously. And as soon as people saw it, well, let's just say they used a younger Scarlett Johansson, or no, who's that girl who did the jeans? And they dyed her hair red, and she did Mara Jade. You know what they'd be saying to young guys? Gotcha, bitch. That's what they would be saying. So, yeah. It's, and the thing is with the girl boss, they had already a phrase for that, and that was the Mary Sue. Or if it was a guy, it was a Gary Stew. And it's just somebody who is perfect at everything, which, and honestly, I can't stand. That's why I never could get into the 007 movies. It just drove me crazy. Just like Mission Impossible. The guy's got to sit there and send an email in 3,000 different languages, and he just does it by himself. Who the fuck knows 3,000 languages? Or 300, whatever. I'm sitting there just going, nope, 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 nope. That's not how this works. And of course, Demon put it in there and make her gay and lame and overweight. Thank you, Guard, for adding that one too. Lena says, I'm watching Apocalypse Bringer and I completely loving it. Isn't that McDonald's loving it? Okay. They develop new medic units, bodyguards, plague doctors. See, I'm not. Yeah. I got nothing on that. Oh, Chris is up there saying, and give her a chicken, make her lay. I'm gonna get okay. Yeah, honestly, when I first heard it, I thought that's what Cartman was saying. Put a chicken in it, not a chick in it. Demon saying he likes that anime, Apocalypse Bringer. So, yeah, there's another one for everybody to watch. Let's see. Douglas says, worst thing I got in Mexico was cholera. From a restaurant that had servers that did not wash hands after using the bathroom. Oh, that's just wrong. Oh, that's like pink eye for the guts. Oh, you're not gonna. It takes a lot to make me puke, but that's just. Ugh. Oh, I ain't like Pop on grunt speak. You can't sit there and make me. But yeah, that's pretty bad. The thing is, when I was in Iraq, we ordered kebabs from the locals all the time. You really think they washed their hands before they made their flatbread? You just kind of have to deal with it. Now, I don't know anybody who got cholera. The only time I had food poisoning, it was from the eggs at the chow hall. And yeah, it's kind of hard to be a badass on patrol when every 5 steps you're puking your guts out and hoping to God you don't shit your pants. Okay, Guardian says, I like my Blue Eyes White Dragon, my Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and my Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. Oh, the Shining Dragon is really going to show off for the Ultimate Dragon. Oh, it's going to sashay into the Ultimate Dragon and show off how good it is. Douglas comes in and says, lost 25 pounds in 2 weeks. Dude, that's danger zone right there. Unless you actually went in and got something sucked out of your body, that's too fast. I mean, I'm sure you're feeling great and all, but dude, you need to talk to a doc like right now. Okay, that's a lot. That your body can only handle without any complications somewhere between 5 and 10 pounds a week, or a week at most. Sorry, I had to remember how it was phrased right. Beyond that, you're dropping weight way too quick, and there's probably an issue. I mean, whatever diet you're on is fucking working, which is great. I'm just saying you might want to go see a doc. They're most likely going to want to run a blood test on you to see if you're deficient on anything, because the last thing you need is all that work and you end up on the ground. Okay, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. I mean, this is awesome, dude. 25 pounds in 2 weeks, that's a lot of work. So don't let me shade that down. I'm just concerned, okay? I give a shit, so I'm concerned. All right. Why is my nose itch so much? I swear, somebody's out there with a friggin' doll right now, a voodoo doll, tickling my nose with a friggin' feather. Let's see. Guard says, enjoy Japan while you can, everybody. They're about to turn themselves into the Middle Eastern, Africa, Indian guard. Oh, god damn. Okay. You know, I don't like to talk politics on this. I will say this. They tried to bring some folks in. Every neighborhood they went in, and these are very small pockets, turned to shit. Now they have massive demonstrations, and over there, they will actually hunt down their politicians and beat them with sticks. They will go right through the damn police to do it too. They don't give a shit. They want they would rather die themselves than to bring in these others, which I'm not going to say which ethnicity or which area of the world they came from, but apparently a group went in there and tried to do what they were doing in some other countries where they ganged around a couple of women and did something bad. And before they got away, people came at them with very large blades and started removing parts. Many times it was parts they wanted to keep. Like, I don't know, your fucking hands. They're not going to play around over there. And it's only a matter of time before that sort of shit happens here. And then somebody says, you know what? The Punisher had it right. And they're going to start stacking bodies. And I don't want to deal with that shit. I've been there. I've done that. I've got the t-shirt. So anyway, let's let downshift here. And I'm just going to say by pretty soon.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And they're going to know real bad. Anyway, ninja sharks. Do I have a ninja thing here? No. Damn it. Nope. I don't have any. Dun-dun. Anyways. Or any, I don't even have any ninja stuff on here either on my soundboard. The closest I got is some girl in a legging saying, ejecting. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay, Ninja Shark says Cracker Barrel brought back their original logo, and the backlash is so bad they had to bring back the famous logo everybody knows. I don't give a fuck about the logo. I want the internals of the store to stay the same. Another reviewer said it right. The food there, it's good, but I'm not jumping for joy. It's a little bit above what he would say mid, which I don't fully agree with. I think their fish fries are great. A little on the pricey side, but you don't just go there for the food. You go there for the ambiance. And during the wintertime, when they have that fire going, especially if you come in and snowing outside, even if you're only catching a little piece of it, that fire feels so good. And the smell of it just helps. Okay, it's meant to help you feel a certain way. But they're fucking that up. Just like they fucked up with the Starbucks, okay? I used to like going to Starbucks. I thought their coffee was good. And I thought, oh, I go in there and I smell all that coffee and it's all fresh ground. Great. No, everything is now sanitized. Everything is computerized. Everything's in plastic. And now their coffee tastes like dog shit. I can't even enjoy it. I thought I got a bad cup once and I'm just like, okay, I paid this much. I'm going to finish it. I choked it down. I went another time. Actually, I was with my dad. And I just took them. That tastes like shit. And on the way out, one guy's like, he saw the look on my face, like, what's wrong with the coffee? I said, this is the worst coffee I've had in a while. And I walked out the door. But yeah, with the Cracker Barrel, they're not changing the menu at all. They need to just keep what they got because it worked. It still made them money. They got to understand, if you're looking at losing money, that has a lot to do with the fact that inflation's a bitch. So, yeah, that whole thing with Cracker Barrel, they just have to stay with what works. And what worked was there. And now they're fucking up by the numbers. Okay. SS Demon says, Overwatch, the same girl from Ejecting. Okay. Said is more famous as Korn and Blizzard hates it, or yeah, as adult material. And I'm trying to remember. I think maybe I've seen a little. I don't know. By the time I get done with everything I gotta get done, I walk over that bed, and half the time I don't even get my pants off, face down, and I'm out cold. That's if I have a chance to sleep. All right. But yeah, let's face it, pretty soon if you have an AI is going to take whatever character is 3D, and you can say, make them this tall, make them this wide, this skinny, these whatever you want. Okay, I want to see them in a video doing this for, say, 15 minutes. And poof, it's going to pop on your screen in about 3 or 4 seconds. And you're not going to want to play the game ever again because you're going to drain yourself of energy. In fact, your energy is going to be in about 12 squirts against the wall. So, yeah. And pretty soon, you won't even need the game. You're just going to have to say, hey, make me a character with this. All right, Guard says they're... okay, he's still talking about Japan here. Yep, he's still going. He says their prime minister wants to import all that stuff. I kid you not, 125,000 Indian workers, 100,000 Pakistani workers. That's a bad idea. They really don't like each other. I've actually seen it here, and I'm in the northeast part of the United States. I've seen them go at each other. I mean, whole hog beating the shit out of each other, and they don't give a shit. Let's see. And turned out 3 of Japan's biggest cities into African-American sanctuary. No, hold on. Basketball Americans, get it right. Sanctuary cities, also allowing up to 275,000 Palestinian refugees who would pretty much get their living expenses, food, water, everything paid for by the Japanese government. What in the ever-loving fuck? Oh, dear God. I knew it was going to be bad, but this bad? Wow. It's going to be worse for the Japanese than it was at the end of World War II. At least at the end of World War II, we helped them rebuild and we left them the fuck alone. This can only end one way, and that's in a lot of blood. I wish that wasn't the case, but that's the fucking case. Sorry for cursing, guys, but it pisses me off. Japanese culture, just like Swedish culture, used to be something to look up to. Now it's looked at something to be pitied. Okay, Rolando, I don't have a button specifically for you, unfortunately. Had to watch Order Up. Fun, and thank you, Sin. Okay. You're welcome. Guard says, gee, I wonder why U.S. and Japan are butting heads again. Gee, let me think. Ugh. They're disputes over dumb shit. That's what the problem is. People don't want to deal with the actual issues. They want to sit there and bullshit about stuff that means nothing. They never want to address the actual issue. And that's why if I ever ran for a public office, my slogan would be, let's cut the bullshit. And that's every time I go in, let's cut the bullshit. You want to talk about this thing, you know what? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a non-issue. It's a non-starter. Fuck you. Get over it. Cry me a river, build a bridge, get over yourself, and drive the fuck on somewhere else. I don't have time for that. Neither does anybody else. Let's talk about the major shit. But as far as Japan, going after us any type of militarily, they like us too much. I worked with the Japanese soldiers. They're pretty cool. They're actually a little nervous that our equipment's so goddamn heavy. And they're surprised that we can move around with it. But the thing is, they're vicious little guys when they want to be. All right. Douglas says, I found out later the Mexican authorities shut down the restaurant until all personnel went to hospital. Okay. Yeah. Mexico. Yeah. That makes sense. But, come on. It's still Mexico. Demon jumped in. He says, no wonder there's a political party that wants to bring back the emperor and shogunate. Oh, God. That's bad. It's the third largest party in Japan. Yeah, but who would be the emperor? And what type of person is he? I mean, there's already an emperor in. Actually, there's multiple emperors in Asia. Kim Jong Un's one of them. What's that guy in China? His name is Bing. Yeah, those are emperors. They're in there for life till someone kills them. It's a. Yeah, let's not do that to Japan. Japan was doing so much better. The only thing they screwed up on is they brought in Western ideals, but Western ideals and Asian cultures don't mix. Because of that, they have a major problem with their loss of personnel. But like I was saying before, they would rather die their own people than be overtaken by someone they allowed to come. It'd be like if you allowed somebody to sleep on your couch and suddenly they said, well, this is my house now. Look at my face. I'm the captain now. You know, fuck off. Speaking of which, side note, I don't know if you guys ever saw this. One guy was having a problem with a squatter in his basement. Somehow she got in. She refused to leave. So he got a couple of 2x4s and some 8-inch wood screws and just started screwing it all in. He invited the cops into his house and said, she refused to leave, and I'm about to take these off. And she's beating on the door, and the cop's like, do you want to leave? She's like, absolutely. Yeah, this isn't even my house. Well, now they have enough to drag her ass out of there. So they did, and the first thing he did is he went and he boarded up the window that she got in on from both sides. I was like, okay. Okay, back to the comments. Leland says, Jennifer Lopez in Anaconda. One of my old nicknames. I didn't think I would get that reference from the anime. I'm guessing Pantheon Stocking said that one. Lena says, well, this planet has green goo. It's biological. Yeah. Every time I eat something too spicy, I get green goo too. Okay, Guardian says, what's the sound of artillery? Boom, boom. Raining down on the enemy. Boom, boom. Yes, I know that one. That's an old cadence that we passed the artillery guys. They were doing that one, and just as they finished, we're marching by, and we're, was it high? Was it low? Where the fuck did that one go? And he looked at us and he like, fuck you, dude. That's not funny. And yeah. There's caissons, which was their artillery. But yeah, they got a big kick out. Everybody laughed. It was all in jest, really. Let's see. Lena says, I think I found the scariest Soviet cartoon in 1984. It's based on the American short story about the last smart house in California, December 31st, 2026. That's, if you know the name of it, put it in here so folks know what you're talking about. I've never even heard about this. And the thing is, something about the year 1984, not just because of a certain book, but that date keeps coming up for some reason. The odd thing is, so does 1988. I don't know what it is in those 2 years. But, we'll see. Maybe I just have to meditate more and maybe it'll come to me. I don't know. But yeah, Lena, put the name of the movie in so people can actually watch it. Eric's here. He's saying,
good evening, sinners.
And there's Guardian giving it up. Let's see. Okay, yep. 8 separate emails from Demon. Yep. Yeah, variety of content to talk about, different content to actually share, and that's all good. And let's see. Guard says, doesn't make it seem dull when he gets to spend about 10 minutes figuring out which one to use. I'm missing something on that. Oh, for me, doesn't seem dull when when 10 minutes figuring out which one you. Okay, yeah. All right, let's see. MTF Guard says the fans ruined DBZ. I don't. Are you saying because they just wanted to keep it going like any other random cartoon, like Family Guy or The Simpsons or South Park or anything? Then yeah, I agree with that. If it's an anime, it's meant to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. An actual saga is what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to just continue for fucking ever. Guard says the original story of teaching your children to be better and stronger than you before passing the torch was completely thrown aside. Oh, yeah. That wasn't just thrown aside. They set it up on a kicking tee and they launched it through the uprights. That's what they did. It continues, and it was all because the fan says they didn't like Gohan, and they wanted to do Goku back, and they wanted Goku to be the strongest. Well, fucking congratulations, you did. And you semi-ruined the show. Because after that, it just wasn't worth watching. If it just got to be the same bullshit over and over and over and over and over again. Yes, which is why the running gag back in the day was, how many Saiyans does it take to screw in a light bulb? One, but it takes a season and a half to get it finished. I still remember the whole thing. And the only reason I even knew about Dragon's Balls was because one of my good friends in college was a huge anime fan. I'm just like, okay, whatever, here we go. And he insisted on watching the Cell Saga on the big giant TV in the day room. Every week it came on, and we're sitting there, and yeah, an entire episode. And all they did was the guy narrator in the background talk, and Gohan took one step up towards the actual stage to fight Cell. I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? And come to find out, they're waiting for the manga to catch up because they refused to put it on screen unless the manga caught up. Ugh. All right. Lena says 3i Atlas is supposed to visit 3 different planets when traveling through our system. It's probably not natural. Yeah, I only know of 2 for certain, which is Saturn and us. There's possible it might tap on Uranus a little bit on the way by, just, give you a good slap on the ass. But that's not, I haven't confirmed that. Okay, Guard continues. He says, super powerful enemy shows up. Whoops Goku's ass. Goku spends 3 episodes training, comes back with new Saiyan form. 50-50 on whether or not it's enough. Make 3/4 of a season filler. And last but not least, make about 10 episodes out of an 80-episode season where the actual main about the actual main problem. Rinse, repeat with the next season. Abso-fucking-lutely. It was literally, like he said, a new enemy showed up. They're stronger. They go into their time dilation training, or they have some sort of montage, and they learn a new level where all they do is change their hair color and call it good. The kicker is, and I was just talking to some lady who was she's also used to be an anime fan. She's like 80 some odd years old. I said to her, the first 2 transformations were actual psychological, actual human psychology was right there. She's looking at me. She's like, I don't know. It's like, of course you don't know. You're a woman. You wouldn't know these. This is mainly guys do this. And it's and I'm sure you've had it where you rage the fuck out so bad that your adrenaline spikes so high that you just, you lose it. I've actually know somebody, he says when he sees red on the exterior, he's got about 3 seconds to grab his own senses back, because if that touches in the center, he blacks out completely and he just starts swinging. I've tried to hold him back at that point. For a little guy, you can't hold him. I was doing some heavy lifting at the time and I could not hold him down. He was moving with that much power. That's Super Saiyan. Above that is you have that power, but you're also like seriously focused on that one target. You're not wasting any energy. You're driving every strike as hard as you can, trying to actually drive your fist through their sternum, out their back. I mean, it's just that was Super Saiyan level 2, or however you want to put it. And she was like, oh my God, guys don't actually do that. And I turn as a couple guys who are listening. They go, "Oh yeah, that's part of it. It's hardwired into you." Let's see, Erica here, someone who's truly, you know, one of these times I'm going to actually have to have a truly outrageous on here. But she says, 3i Atlas makes its own light too. Yes, a lot of people are like, well, it makes its own lights, but they can't tell if it's reflecting off the surface, like there's some metallic pieces there, or if it's actually creating its own light. And it's too far out for them to truly get a good look-see and verify. And even if they did verify, you really think they'd tell us? War Sniper says, no, the live stream every time gets disconnected and I have to close and reopen YouTube on my browser. I only have this problem with your live stream. That's weird. I do actually see the numbers flicker every once in a while. I don't know why that is. One of these times I'm going to have to remember to actually write the time down to see what the fuck is going on. Now, I will say, if I'm watching like the MGTOW.TV stream, I give it about an hour and it freezes. I don't know why, it just does. And I have to do the same thing. But that's watching Grunt Speak where, well, let's just say the stuff he puts on the screen is even better than what you're seeing right now. I guarantee that. But only on MGTOW.TV. All the other ones, I don't know what the hell they put on there. I don't watch them. All right. Chris says, all kids out of the pool. It's time for the Adult Swim. Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Guard says, what? No, he did get laid. It was a clown in a plane's bathroom. I'm not sure I want to know where that's going. What they say on Futurama, I'm scare-roused. Probably one of the only lines that made me laugh in the entire show. See, Lena says, I did watch animes on Adult Swim, a lot of classic titles. Yeah, like Cowboy Bebop. That is how they introduced that show to a lot of people. And that was well written. That was well done. The artistry was good. The stories were good. Everything was laid out right. Most of the time, it was a very bittersweet type of thing. And yeah. I mean, he was a bounty hunter. It's never going to go well. Let's see. Guard says he thought it was a parachute that was actually a anti-evil clown device, which resulted in a lady clown coming out. A she clown? A she clown? I don't know how to say that one. Is she just as evil as him? I don't know. Say guards here. It says Sin, making it sound like his computer is on life support. Or should I use this one? Hold on, where is it? Let me scroll down here because we got another $5 super chat from Guardian Sage. It says, I gotta go to sleep. Good night, all. Live long and prosper. Oh, thank you very much, Guardian. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciate all you guys being here. And you've actually been going for almost 2 hours. We'll see how long we keep going. And have a good night there, Guardian. Try to get some good sleep. I haven't gotten good sleep in a few months. Not so fun. Let's see. Where was I? I don't remember where I was. Okay, I was farther down than this. Okay. I'm almost there. Where am I? Hey, sir. Sir is here. Hey, how you doing, sir? Everybody say hi. Yes, sir is here. Yay! And sir says, I'm okay, but really tired of medicines. The chemo, I get feeling better on the the chemo, I get feeling better on the channel. See you later. Oh, you're leaving already? Oh man, I that's the thing. If I came up positive for some sort of the cancer or something like that, after I saw what it did to my mom and my aunt, they would not be pumping me full of, I have no idea what type of chemicals they got there from World War II, which is where they got chemotherapy from. That's where those chemicals were derived from. They were part of like explosives and shit like that. No. You can piss off because the cure is worse than the disease. I won't go out like that. I refuse to. Demon says, I know I need a new one, same as the new phone, but those are expensive. Yeah, they are. Everything's getting super expensive now. Honestly, the thing is, I even went and had somebody get me a new case. I got a freaking Pixel 3 as my phone. There's nothing wrong with it. Except it overheats a little bit. But let's face it, when it's 90 degrees outside, everything's going to overheat, including me. Ninja Sharks says, there's a show that you go in the future. It's called Dr. Stone. Isn't that the guy where everybody turns to stone and he kind of accidentally gets dripped on by acid or something and he gets away? I think I heard about that. I never did watch it. I've heard good things about it. By all means, Ninja Shark says it's good. Might as well check it out. You guys have got time to watch them. Chris says, all my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. But I suck at land nav and found myself in West Virginia. Okay, let me say this right. All my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. But I suck at land nav and found myself in West Virginia. And that's actually pretty good. That's pretty funny, man. That is actually really funny. Let's see. Erica says 2 animes that I really like, and I thought I made up when I was sick. Vision of Escaflowne and Record of Lodoss War. I personally was not a fan of Vision of Escaflowne. Now, I actually own a copy of the original movie Escaflowne. And the Record of Lodoss War, I believe I still have a copy of that as well. That was actually really good. And yeah. She continues with, I'm so excited about finding that they are real. Yeah, well, yeah. With Escaflowne, when he goes in that fight and you start getting the string music kicking in, I don't know what it is. It just makes you want to kick somebody's ass. As far as Record of Lodoss War, yeah, just make sure you get the unedited versions. The new ones that are coming out, they cover up certain things. Like they'll make, I forget the elf girl's name. They like make her have a longer dress or something like that. I'm like, she's an elf. They don't wear much. They believe that they need to feel the wind. That's why they don't wear a lot of clothes. Especially high elves. I mean, seriously. And see, Eric says, see you later, sir. Take care. Yep. Chris says, the best family-friendly anime is Rodeo Healer. I'm totally not lying. Rodeo Healer? I don't know if I've heard that one. You guys who really like anime and get a chance to watch them, there you go. The only healer ones I've seen, and it took me a couple weeks to actually go through the whole thing, even though they were out, because obviously I don't have enough time to sit there and binge the whole fucking thing. There was one, he was like everybody kept calling him like the masochist zombie healer or whatever, because he was trained by like the lead adventurer and he kept getting his ass kicked. And he used his healing abilities to actually purify a bunch of stuff, and like an actual like crypt and stuff like that, where most everybody was like, you'll never make it through the second floor. It takes forever, and yeah, this, that, and the other thing, and it's totally terrible, and nobody likes this job. He ends up clearing like 100 floors. It's crazy. It was good because it showed the progression over time and how it took years and years and years before it actually caught up. That being said, everybody knows that's the wrong way to use healing magic. Hate to say it, but that's more or less what my character did. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy listened to my stuff with the Isekai story, the first one I did, and they're like, you know what, this sounds good, but I'm going to tweak it. Well, they tweaked it nice. Okay, that sounded wrong. Ugh. Okay. Eric says, still waiting for the next season of Dr. Stone Shark. Erica, you spelled that wrong. If you like the guy so much, you know you're going to be saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, yeah, that's what it is. The only thing I know about the Yu-Gi-Ohs is the fact that when I was in Hawaii, my buddy Ghost, he was a huge anime fan, but he actually got several decks of cards, and we would actually play the game. And we would actually be playing for drink, like whoever lost, had to pay for the drinks. I lost all the time, but I didn't give a shit. I was pretty much the only one with a car that would come in, and I was like, whatever, I lost. I'll go get the beers. I was gonna get the beers anyway, so who gives a fuck? Let's see. Demon says, those are good ones, Erica. One of my favorite anime movies, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, from 1984. That one was so good. I don't remember it. I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. Nausicaa of the Valley of the Winds. I gotta say it that way, more than one A. Let's see. Douglas says, the weight loss I mentioned was from the cholera sin. I literally could not stay away from the. Oh God, damn. Okay, so you were under supervision at least, like you had somebody on speed dial. I'm sure, if that's the case, because yeah, you that cholera itself will make you shit yourself to death. It's terrible. It's like dysentery. It's you get something like cryptosporidium or something like that. It's going to be the same thing. It's just Giardia and all of those. They'll just no good. See, Erica like Spirited Away. I never did see that. A lot of people said it was great, but the thing is, I personally think the writer of that one and the director, they've been way overhyped. At least me personally. Don't let me stop you from enjoying it ever, anytime. Lena jumps in and says, sounds like you need NordVPN to avoid the UK censorship. Yeah, pretty soon you're going to need censorship just to be on YouTube. Like you're going to need an actual card, a new ID with biometric scans and a blood test every single time you go on. They're going to want all your fluid, your saliva, your blood, your urine, never mind. Lena says, weren't Japanese fighting Visa and MasterCard? Yeah, because they wanted their own, but the world banks wanted control of their money. Guard jumps back in. He says, I dropped 20 pounds in a week when I got COVID. Ugh. I damn near died from it because my body couldn't handle it and was eating itself to sustain itself. Now, here's the thing. I got the COVID too, but the thing is, I got it before the scare. I remember this as clear as I could be because I was partially delusional. I show up for work. I was a drill sergeant at the time. And inside our office, of course, everybody's got their own latrine. And it's very first time part of the day. And I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, hold it together, hold it together, hold it together. You got a range today. Hold it together. Nope. And I just ducked over it until I friggin' puked my friggin' guts out. After I was able to get myself back on my feet, stick my head under the faucet, swish it out, spit out the friggin' chunks that are still between my teeth. I open up the door to the shitter. I take like 2 steps out. Here comes my boss, the senior in my senior platoon sergeant, and he's got first platoon's senior right behind him. They look at me. He's like, are you okay? I just give him a shake. Nope. He's like, go home. I was like, but that means you're the only one here. I can't just leave you. He's like, just go home now. I did not make the parking lot before I was barfing my guts out again. I mean, just as much. It was like it was pulling bile up. And the problem is, I didn't even get back to the house again. I got to the car. This is the only time I've ever had to pull over to the side of the road just to vomit. It was just terrible. But that all said, guess what? After about a day of feeling like shit, I was back to work. So I just looked at that friggin' virus and I said, not today, motherfucker. Not today. All right. Demon saying, I don't think I can go wrong with almost any Gabini film. Okay, well, yeah. See, I don't follow really who makes it, even the actors. You know, if it's good, if it's good, if it's not, it's not. Guard continues, I mean, hey, I look good, 20 pounds thinner. But on the inside, I was dying. Quite literally. Yeah, no shit. I mean, well, yeah, shit. But, I mean, you know what I mean. SS Demon says, Hayao Miyazaki made Valley of the Wind, but it was made before Gilbini was established as a studio. He also made, I believe he made, was it Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away? I think he made those. Or maybe he was the one who made Howl's Moving Castle, which honestly, I looked at that preview and me personally, I went, nope. Okay, downshifting here. Chris saying, my local Crackle Barrel is in no danger of losing my business strictly because of the super hot 29-year-old Korean goth girl that works there. I may have a crush on her. Maybe. You know what? And now, on that note, give me a second. I'm going to throw on a video here so I can actually throw in, where am I going to go? Which one? You know, a little street fight here. Yeah, see, the kicker is I'm trying to actually do this at the same time. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm trying to find a certain, there it is. Trying to get it so I can put it on here for, oh, hold on. God, man, I hate when this thing fucking jumps, man. It jumped all the way back down. Here you go, Chris. This one's for you. There you go. You know, you should actually screen grab that or maybe look it up online and send that to her. Oh, shit. Okay, the demon says, where's your Cracker Barrel located? I must see it for myself. Yes, he must. See, guard says 12 squirts against the wall. Yeah. Well, you got to figure 4 times in a row, 3 per each time. You know, do the math. Yeah, he's freaking rolling. Okay, Demon says, that's quite the drive. Okay, yeah, talking about West Virginia. Yep. Lena says, actually, Jennifer Lopez Anaconda was from Dun Dun Dun. Yes. Let's see. Lena says, the translation from Russian, there will be some soft rains. Really? Why not? Okay, Demon says, next time, or hold on. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, where everything in the season happens in 24 hours. Yeah, I never understood the whole time dilation that they had on those things. It never made sense. Lena says, Dragon Ball Z Kai is supposed to be an improvement to the show. They have removed a lot of filler. Well, I don't know. I'm still not going to watch it. Me personally, I've been done with that thing for 20 years. I'm not going back. Eric says, never really got into Cowboy Bebop. Preferred Afro Samurai. Hey, to each their own. To each their own. I said it before early in the stream. Do not let anything I say dissuade you from enjoying what you enjoy. Everybody has different tastes. I know women who still watch My Little Pony, and they're older than me. Okay, and the thing is, they actually keep their My Little Ponies away from their grandkids, which I think is kind of a dick move. But hey, to each their own. If that is something you like and you enjoy it, as long as it's not hurting anybody else, who the fuck cares? I mean, I like Full Metal Panic, but unfortunately, I've never seen the last season they had. I just never got around to watching it. But I've found it funny as hell. It's basically Master Chief from Halo in high school. Well, in a Japanese high school. If he was in American high school, he would have just ended up everybody. See, Guard says, I'm like 7 minutes behind. I don't even know if the stream is over, but it's just taking me around already. Now, don't forget, it takes me a while to actually get to each one. I'm going down. I'm trying not to skip anybody because that's an asshole move. I'm still watching live, I think. And that was a while ago. That was 15 minutes ago that you sent that in. So Lena says, I'm watching the last season of Dr. Stone when they have arrived to America. Living in America. American faction invented guns and planes, so they have to build an aircraft carrier. Why not? Oh, there's Eric with redo of Healer. Oh, man, that is a twisted fucking show, and I love it. I love every second of that. Oh, man. Just, yeah. The way he gets at everybody is just, oh, I love a good revenge anime. But that's just me. I also have a very twisted sense of humor. But, redo of Healer. If you guys haven't seen it, you're just going to be like, what in the ever-loving shit? And a couple times you're going to be like, did he just do what I think he did? If you don't know what I'm talking about, wait till they're next to the fire. What slaps her across the face? Oh, jeez. Okay, I got to pull this together. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. All right. Chris saying, I can't spell. Damn the public education system. Yeah, it sucks balls. It wasn't good when I was in 30 fucking years ago. Guard says, I got a Pixel 9a, and I'm going to be either replacing it with either one of the 10a in the next few weeks or a month because a pink line keeps appearing and disappearing on my screen. Sounds like a software issue. It's not breaking my phone, but it's that much of an annoyance that I'm going to call insurance and get it replaced, since getting it repaired would be 5 times more expensive. I legit did the math. It would be cheaper to replace it than to fix it. It's like some days the pink line doesn't show up at all, and other days ready to take a hammer to my phone because it's just there and it's annoying me because it's just sitting there and flickering. I just want to take a goddamn jackhammer to it. Also, there's another problem I found. If it hits 100%, the battery percentage drop. What? The battery percentage drop-wise just freezes up until I reset my phone a couple of times. Like I can charge to 100 and it'll save for the next 5 or 6 hours that's still says at 100%. But then when I reset it once or twice, it'll go to the percentage it's supposed to be on. God damn. I'd lose my mind. Now, I just hope they actually honor your insurance, because when I went to Sprint, they refused to honor mine, and I will never use them again. Those friggin' dill holes would, and I guarantee there's probably some guy who's probably going to be watching this at Sprint like, oh, we wouldn't do that. All I can say is shut your goddamn cock holster. I don't want to hear you. You guys screwed me over. I don't care if it was you or one of your associates or somebody in another state. Your people want to do that, you can fuck right off. Yeah, Demon, I'll have to check for your stuff later after, like I said, after the stream. I can't do it here. It was hard enough just to download one picture while you guys were watching the media stuff. It wouldn't even work on here. It actually took from the time you guys got back. I had to do that just to, show this whole thing, which is still one of the funniest scenes in that entire series. Uncle, I didn't see the tongue hit you. Shh. That's just funny. Okay. Chris says, I've got it. A new get-rich-quick weight loss supplement for the stars in Hollyweird. Cholera. It will fix so many problems. Yep. The thing is, I wouldn't put it past them. Those people have drank tapeworms before. They've gone without eating. When what's his name, who played Batman, he did this movie, The Mechanic. I seen his diet that he was on to actually be that skinny, and it had to be punishing. He had to have a doctor around him 24/7. He had to sleep with a heart monitor on in case he went into cardiac arrest. He physically said that role ruined his body permanently and all I can say is that until they release the frequency stuff. But until then, yeah, his internals are beyond screwed up. He has to constantly go through all these different checks and scans to make sure that his kidneys, his liver, his intestines, his heart, and everything else is running right. I think what was his pancreas or something took the biggest hit. It's absolutely crazy. Lena says, I always wanted to see drunk destroyer girls in Azure Lane and big plot ladies. Oh, big plot? Yeah, that's the plot. Let's see. Lena says, I liked watching Inuyasha. I'm trying to remember that. That's an old one. That's a really old one. I don't know if I really got in. Oh, wait a minute. That's the guy with the white hair. He's like a half demon or whatever. Yeah, here's the one thing, Leonid. That show in particular, written by a woman, produced by a woman, they insisted on only the people doing the artistry were women. And that's why a lot of the scenes there, I was just like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. And I still remember, I can hear it distinctly. Same place in Hawaii, because my buddy Ghost, his fiance, when I left, they weren't married yet. She actually chewed me out on that because she loved that show. She absolutely adored it. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not stopping you from enjoying it. I personally just can't get into it. When it's playing, I'm going to leave. I'm just going to be out on the back porch having a couple of beers. Let's see. Guard says, I don't really watch anime nowadays. I pretty much just read the mangas. There's usually a lot more content, and usually the mangas are way ahead of the anime. That's actually true. The one reborn as an evil lord in a intergalactic empire, I think they made more of those. That's really good. Just don't read some of those in public. There's a couple cells in there that if somebody's watching over your shoulder, you're going to get yelled at. Okay, Guard continues with the later seasons of Redo of Healer, if it even gets them. Hold on. The later seasons for Redo of a Healer, if it ever gets the next seasons, might not be as gut-wrenching and balls to the wall as the first season, though. Just giving you all a warning. I just want to see what he does to that guy who abused him in his previous life. I seriously want to see how badly that freak of nature is going to get destroyed. I am looking forward to that shit. Because that what he was doing was beyond wrong. Lena says, I thought people hated Redo of Healer. It's kind of bad. Well, to each their own, first off. It's not that people hated redo of Healer. They thought it was too adult. As in, I mean, let's face it. The guy, it's a revenge tale. So you know he's going to do some really nasty shit. Secondly, the guy's a horny 16-year-old who literally can use alchemy to change his body literally to refill his spank sack every 5 minutes. Actually, as soon as he's finished, he can literally like snap his fingers and he's ready to go again. The guy is a walking libido. So of course he's going to screw anything on 2 legs and a pulse. Maybe he doesn't even need the pulse, but there you go. Now he's still me personally, I think what makes people like it is even though it's revenge, he still has his code of ethics. There's lines he won't cross, and they're obvious. He says it right there. These are lines that I'm not going to go beyond. You know, like he'll never like force himself on a woman. She has to say, I want it. And if she doesn't say that, then he won't do it. Let's see. Guard says they quickly fell into that broken but doesn't know it's broken hero protagonist type of anime after he takes out a certain enemy. Not spoiling that part. You know we don't like spoilers around here. We'll see. I found the problem. You're using Sprint. I'm using Verizon, and I'm one of the much older plans, so they legally can't screw me over because it was one of those ones where they had to... But I did find out around the battery problem, though. I just charged up 98, 99%, put it on power saver mode, and then called it a day. A lot easier to fix. Okay. Let's see. Demon says, well, I hate to say it, but I got to leave for work, unfortunately. Yes, and go ahead and keep using the fleet. I don't mind. Just a reminder, only the Dreadnought-sized ships have FTL. The carriers hold all the others. Okay, I will keep that in mind. But right now, it just... How do I put this? It will be fully explained in the next one. Exactly how the workaround's going to go. Let's see. Lena says, Panty and Stocking did 2 short episodes about semen. That's all I can say to be family friendly.
Giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
Let's see. Demon says, ships in the fleet for FDL travel. That's why they are so large. Okay, sorry. I didn't see that was split. Carriers hold all other ships in the fleet for FDL travel. That's why they're so large. Okay. So basically, they are like the Battletech jump ships, more or less. And I don't know if you're a Battletech fan too, Demon, but their actual battleships are all FDL capable as well. That's kind of a requirement because they need to be mobile. Let's see. Guard says, but I did find a go around with... Okay, I just read that. Eric says, a redo healer is just the first episode of Goblin Slayer. Ooh, that's another revenge type thing. And honestly, that first episode, when you see the nails crunch in and the eyes widen, and honestly, I could have jumped through the screen just to freaking rip the head off that green little bastard. Leaning, well, the story kind of makes no sense when you know he is time traveling, kind of like Trash Taste. If you're talking redo, he time traveling, sort of. The only thing that goes back in time is his freaking soul, not his body. It's not quite the same, but it's close. All right, looks like we've reached the bottom. I'm going to throw on one more of the videos. Eeny, meeny, miny. You know what? Let's take out a sniper. All right, guys. Since we reached the bottom here and we've been going for 2.5 hours, I just want to say thank you to everybody who dropped the super chats. That's Guardian, Demon, Erica, Prozac and Pancakes, and MTF Guard. Thank you so much. Also, everybody else, thank you for being here and listening in. I do appreciate you, and hopefully, you guys, give a thumbs up, and I'll see you, I guess, on the next one. I don't really have an outro video. One of these. Oh yeah, is there a story tonight? No, I didn't get. I couldn't finish it. I do apologize for that. There is not one dropped tonight. Hopefully, I can get one out tomorrow. Like this is what I was saying before, Alan. This is why I don't do memberships. I'm not going to screw you guys over because I do not have the time, especially this time of year, to pump out story 2, 3 a day. It just doesn't happen. Plus, I got my other channel I'm still doing the editing on, and it's just, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate you guys being with me. I appreciate your patience and your patronage and everything else. And, like I said, I need an outro video. If you guys, somebody out there wants to make an intro or an outro video, hey, I'll be here waiting. And until then, this is going to be your buddy Syntax ejecting.